Alright guys, we are back. One Night with Steiny. We are currently waiting for Mr. Top G, Andrew Tate. Before we get into it, prize picks. At this time, I believe the Super Bowl will be a week away. Go download prize picks. Go follow me at Steiny. I'm gonna have probably my biggest slip I've ever had is gonna be on the Super Bowl. And we are gonna cash it and we are gonna win. You know how to play. All you do, go select a player, more or less on receptions, receiving yards, rushing yards, whatever it might be. Also, if you submit one lineup for $5, free 50 in entries. No reason not to go play. Go download prize picks. Follow me on the app at Steiny. Let's win some money. All right, guys, we are here. I said it when he walked in. Top Jew.
You're Jewish?
You knew this. That's why you're here. Damage control.
No, that. No.
Is that not why you're here for damage control?
No.
There's no other reason you'd agree to do this.
No. Steiny, you and I are old friends. If you think I'm here for damage control, I'm going to walk out here right now.
No, I know you're not here for that. I know.
I have no damage control to try and partake in. Firstly, because that's not how I operate. Secondly, I didn't put on the song.
Right.
And if the world's upset that I said I didn't put it on, well, that's their problem.
Okay.
I'm happy being the bad guy. I've been the bad guy my whole life. I don't give a people like me, dislike me. I don't care who turns on me. None of that matters. I've always been the bad guy. But I'm not here for damage control. Okay. I've explained the scenario over and over again. Would you like me to start again?
Well, let's make one thing clear. We're both kind of like the villain roles. I'm kind of the bad guy too. Do you not think so?
Why are you the bad guy?
Do I not give off that villain, like stay away from this guy, like intimidation at all? Seriously. I'm more of a villain than a hero, right?
100% Steiny.
Okay. So let's go through the situation because...
Are you actually Jewish?
Yes. Is that okay with you?
You know what? World? Yes.
There we go. That's a step in the right direction.
It's okay with me. No, but it's always been okay with me.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Like, who gives a f***? Like, having disagreeable views about the government of Israel and saying that committing a genocide is absolutely disgusting and that they have too much control over the American government, ADL is completely unchecked. All of these things are different than I hate every single Jewish person on the planet.
Absolutely.
They're different
100%.
things. They're different things.
And speaking on that, I think that's the perception of the common folk is that when people speak on those topics, they put everybody together. So that's why there's so much anti-Semitism right now. As you've said, you've seen recently, you talked to Bradley about it and you said it's way too high right now.
Yeah, I mean, but also there's a lot of stupid people who believe that if you are unhappy with Israel, you should be prepared to not talk to any Jewish person ever again and be a genuine anti-Semite and we should fire up the gas chambers. And then there's a lot of stupid Jewish people who say that criticizing the Israeli government is anti-Semitic, which is causing this.
Yeah.
They're causing it by saying this ridiculousness. If I criticize Keir Starmer, and trust me, it's all I ever do. If I criticize the British government, do I hate English people?
No,
of course not. But the English person is not going to say, you criticize Keir Starmer, so you hate all English people. He's going to say, you hate the English government. So all this conflation is coming from both sides. Truthfully, what I will say is that everybody says the Jews have a lot of power in America. And where I've been living in Romania and Dubai for so long, I mean, I believed it. I knew it. I studied it. I talked about it. I understood all of these things. But the fact that I went to a nightclub and somebody else played a song and it's become a international incident just proves that it's ridiculous.
This is what I want to say about that. I saw you and Tristan in the clip. I've known you guys now for 5 years. We met in Croatia, which is crazy to think about. You for sure knew I was Jewish, probably by the way I looked, my size, my unathletic ability. But you were
your money.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys were so respectful to me every single time I'd met you, whether it was in Croatia, Dubai, back here in America. So when I saw that clip, you guys did look out of place. But with that being said, you still all did agree to group together and do the stream. So that was obviously a possibility that something could go wrong.
I don't think so. I actually think the lesson here for me, because I'm a full-grown man, I'm always trying to draw lessons from it. My lesson here is not anything to do with internet or what they think or comments or people's opinions of me. My lesson doesn't come from the song. My lesson doesn't come from the backlash, none of those things. My lesson here is to stick to my morals about avoiding people. There's a particular person in that group who everyone's saying I sold out. His name is Sneaky, and he's a piece of and he deliberately did something to get clicks for his views, not understanding it's going to put me in jail. And why should I hang around with people who will put me in jail for their clicks? Would you hang around with someone who would do something which is going to put you in a cell so they can get views on the internet?
No, honestly, I thought you might be doing something to me when you were pulling up here, but now I know you're in here, I feel okay.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's just a piece of move.
Well, you guys have been...
But that doesn't make... that kind of person is not your friend. You don't owe them any kind of loyalty at all.
Right.
They're a bad person, and karma will deal with him. And I should have known better. When Clav and Nick said, we want to bring Sneako, I said 5 times, I don't like him. He's weird. And I was proved right. So the lesson here is to stick to my morals and avoid pieces of he's going to have to live the rest of his life insignificant.
Is he the only person to blame in the situation?
I don't know if it's about blame. I don't know about blame. I'm saying that I wanted to avoid that particular person. He was the one to put on the song. He's been the one kicking up a fuss ever since. He's the one who keeps, making these clips. This whole subject to me is boring.
Yeah.
It's been 12 days. Like, who gives a
Right.
But yeah, the lesson here for me is avoid piece of people, and he can continue to make his streams and insult me and say what he wants to say, and I'll continue to do big important things in big business and be one of the most well-known people on the planet.
Yeah.
And our paths will go different ways, and I'll matter and he won't. And he can sit there in his little New York apartment.
So my last comment on that topic is you're included in the ban from every club and restaurant in Miami?
No idea.
You don't know?
I don't know.
If you are, is that a problem for you?
Firstly, I don't think I am, because I think they said that because they don't want streams like that taking place anymore. And I think they know that if a lot of those people go into those establishments, they're going to be streaming and causing problems, etc. If me and my brother, without any of them, turn up to a restaurant or a club, I'm sure it's going to be 100% fine.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, the Tates, they're good. Are they with the clowns? No. Okay, they're good.
My biggest thing about them, when I saw the clip of them playing the song in the club, is that you understand that 75% of the money being spent probably is by Goldberg and Finkelstein.
I don't know.
Okay, well, it's probably...
Well, I didn't know that. None of that crossed my mind. When the song came on, I was just like, yeah, whatever.
I think we can agree when the song came on, the 42 bottles weren't ordered at that moment because all the Jews stopped turning up. You can't turn up to Hail Jewish, right? We can agree on that.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know the everyone's saying Jews run Miami. Bro,
There's just a lot of them.
Bro,
there.
I've been in jail.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a guy.
Right.
You know what? I'm just a guy. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I was in Barbados. I went to Miami to see one of my friends. Nick and Clav said, let's do this stream. I'd never met Nick or Clav before. They seemed cool. They begged to bring a dipshit. The dipshit caused a mess. I just stood there and played along, not to be the boring old man, because I'm like twice their age.
Right.
I shouldn't have been there. Everyone's messaged me since saying, why are you hanging around with, Sneaky? He's so far below you. It's embarrassing. You're doing big things. You're going to be in politics. No one gives a shit about him. Why are you with these losers? And that's the lesson. And it happened. Nobody cares from my side. Everyone loves me. I'm still welcome everywhere. Nobody dislikes me. All my business is still intact. My world is still going well. And if anyone thinks it's bad that I told the world the person who played the song, well, then they don't understand the world. That's it. I'm really concerned now, Steiny, because we are talking about this incident, and we started this podcast with you saying I'm doing an apology tour, which is not what I'm doing. Every time I'm in America, I do a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
No, I know.
So, unfortunately, every podcast I've done has mentioned
it's the hottest right now.
Hitler Club Clubacost, and it's gay.
But let me just ask, why was the decision to go to the nightclub?
Because Nick Fuentes had never been to a nightclub before.
So that was the decision. Is like
that's the only reason I went. Otherwise, if they said we go to the club all the time, there's no way I'm going to a club.
There's a clip of you saying, "I want to myself." When someone said, "I think they were like, yo, how you doing?"
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
Like none of you guys wanted to be there.
No, clubs suck.
And there were no girls with you, which was surprising. Is that not top G of you? I mean, I don't know.
All my girls are home. Top G has his girls at home. Top G's girls aren't in the club.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I was
girls
so
are at
confused.
home.
Okay. The other reason I thought you might have been in Miami was I thought you were going to be in attendance. I just have to get your opinion. I really wanted to see you front row at Jason Love versus Adam 22, and I didn't see you there. What is your overall interpretation? Where are we at with the internet and life these days when you have Adam 22 fighting Jason Love with Lena as the ring girl?
I mean, it's an entertaining story, I guess. I've never met any of these people in person. I hope that they're all fulfilled and happy. I hope they wake up with smiles on their face. I hope that they enjoy their lives. And I wish nothing but the best for them. Are any of them Jewish?
I don't think so. Does that have some sort of significance?
I don't know. Maybe if I'm wishing well to a Jew, I can,
it'll help you out right now.
Maybe I can get $10,000 billion transferred to my bank.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they're well. I hope they enjoy themselves. I really don't have much of an opinion on anyone else. I'm very focused on myself, not because I'm a narcissist, but just I have a lot going on.
I know you do.
I have like businesses all around the world, children all around the world, legal cases all around the world. My days are nonstop from 7 a.m. till 1 a.m. every single day. And I have a lot to do. So I love Aiden. He's a great guy. I would have liked to be at the event, but I had a little thing to handle in LA, and I got that done, and now I'm here with you.
So one thing I think about when I met you 5 years ago, you were the most famous person in the world.
Yes.
And one thing that you kept talking about was censorship, how they wanted to censor you. And now it seems like you can say whatever the fuck you want and be the biggest thing on the internet. What is your takeaway when you see you got fucking destroyed, you got thrown in jail, you got all this shit, but now you can run and say whatever the fuck you want and get away with it?
Yeah, I did that. I made cancellation no longer a weapon because everyone they canceled before me disappeared. Even Nick, who I love, is a great friend of mine, disappeared when he was canceled. Everyone who was canceled disappeared. They canceled me. I came back stronger than ever. I broke the cancellation weapon. Now cancellation doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then they canceled Sneako. He manages to come back and he thinks it's because of his own merit. No, I laid the ground for him. Nick came back because, Nick, like a soldier, was podcasting and broadcasting the entire time. But now we've reopened the floodgates. Cancellation isn't a weapon. So the new weapon is narrative control. Mm-hmm. They can't cancel people and make them go away anymore. So what they have to do is control how people perceive them. They do this with bot farms, and they do this by manipulating the algo. They do this with the mainstream media and insulting them. But basically, if they can't make somebody go away, they're just going to tarnish that person's name so their ideas are not taken seriously. If I sit here and tell you an idea, and that idea is listened to by a viewer of the podcast, and they go out into the world and say, hey, I heard Andrew Tate say something. They're going to say, Andrew Tate, isn't he accused of?
Right.
So the whole point is that they attach accusations to your name so that you no longer have your thoughts discussed or your ideas
But that's never going to leave you.
Yeah, but that's true. But like all things in life, it grows old and tiresome. Like anybody, like when I first got arrested, a lot of people believed I'd done something. But now anyone with a brain sees 5 years later, I still haven't been convicted. They're like, okay, it's 5 years. No one can convict him. They've all tried. They've all talked about putting him in jail. In fact, I saw on Twitter a guy, when I last caught a bunch of criminal cases and they put it all over the news, I saw some black guy wrote, I've seen this charged and everyone say he's a bad guy like 500 times and he's never in jail. This is, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. So they've overplayed their hand. And anyone who still believes it wants to believe it because they don't like me, not because they know it's true. It's just because they don't like me.
Right.
And also, I will think, I spend a lot of time self-analyzing and analyzing my brand and analyzing my positioning, and because I analyze business and I analyze the world. That's why people listen to me. And I think that one of the things that's also happened when it comes to me and my brand and my image is that people are so used to seeing me suffer. They're so used to me being thrown in jail, locked in my house, constant suffering, terrible life, all these bad things happening to me. Now that they're over and I'm winning and I'm on yachts and private jets and driving fast cars and going to LA, going to Vegas, going to Miami, living in Dubai, $50 million penthouse. There's a lot of, not envy, but there's certainly some people who sit there who have watched my journey from the beginning. They're in the same shit apartment. They still have no money and they're angry.
Yes, of course.
They're angry. And they're like, I liked Tate when he was suffering, but now Tate's winning and I'm still losing. Well, fuck you, you're a sellout to the Jews. And it's like, if I was a sellout to the Jews, none of the things that I've been through would have happened. And the fact that I had to go through all of those horrible things and then you still get called a sellout makes you realize that you can't satiate these inane people. They're just stupid.
Okay, so let me tell you, let me ask you this, because back then when you were on top of the world, no one was trying to cancel you.
I'm still on top of the world, bro.
Well, I know you are. In a different way you are. But back then, every single kid that was between the ages of 16, probably honestly, guys, 16 to 35, wanted to meet Andrew Tate.
They still do. I know I'm not as big as I was. Because,
and I'm not saying that.
No, but you're right.
At that point, you were the biggest thing in the world. And now you're
right.
not.
You're right. But the reason I'm not the biggest thing in the world is one, because obviously I'm not novel, which is the first thing. But two, and this has to be discussed, influencers as a whole have lost influence. It's not just me. 5 years ago, if you were an influencer or you were famous, the amount of influence and power you had over the population was completely different to today.
100%.
Nowadays, if you're an influencer, no one gives a fuck. 10 years ago, if a famous person held a can of Coke, it made the news. And they were like, oh, this person drank Coke instead of Pepsi, and the share price would change and everything mattered. Now, if fucking anyone you can name, Brad Pitt, who gives a shit, walks in here and goes, can of Coke, everyone's going to say, who gives a fuck what you think, bro? Piss off.
Right.
The world's meaner. The world's more nasty. No one respects or believes celebrities anymore. So influencers have lost influence from that perspective. And another reason they have, it's because thousands and thousands of hours of viewing time are being chewed up by AI. 5 years ago, there were over 500 accounts on YouTube that got over 100 million monthly views.
Yeah.
Now there are 50. Why is it going down? I'll tell you why it's going down. Everyone has ADHD. Everyone only wants to see clips and short form.
Right.
No one wants to watch long form anymore. But more importantly, back in the day when I was as famous as possible, people used to sit on TikTok or YouTube shorts and watch Tate videos. And now, if you watch someone on their phone, half the shit they watch is AI videos.
That's true.
AI is stealing millions of minutes from influencers, not just from me, from
No,
any
you're right.
influencer in the whole world. So I watch my girlfriend on her phone between the AI cats, the AI ASMR.
Wait, have you seen the
AI?
Have you seen the AI, the girl that's on like the guys? I'm gonna talk to you right now. You know I'm passionate about crypto. I gotta talk to you right now about MoonPay. Everyone is always looking for that get rich, get that coin early, get the next Bitcoin. Well, that opportunity is here. A trader bought a Solana token for $350. I'm gonna read this because I want to get this right. A trader bought a Solana token called White Whale with around $350 back in December. And about 6 weeks later, that position was worth over $1 million. $350 in December. We're in January. And now the guy's a millionaire. That is the type of possibilities that you can get with the Solana token, with these meme coins. Obviously, there's a lot of risk when doing this, but the opportunities are there. High risk, high reward. If you are interested in exploring what is happening on Solana, the Jupiter app is worth checking out. Jupiter is one of the leading platforms built on Solana, and it is designed to help users discover and trade trending tokens in one place. You can fund your Jupiter account through MoonPay, using Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, debit card, credit card, pretty much anything you can think of, which makes it really easy to get started. As always, crypto trading involves risk. Do your own research. Only invest what you can afford to lose. MoonPay simply facilitates transactions and does not provide financial advice. Trade responsibly. Guys, $350 in December to $1 million in January. Start studying Solana. Look into these coins. I think it's the future. Go download MoonPay and get started. The seat that rocks back and forth and she's soaking wet, but it's
No.
okay, it's all over my algorithm. I don't know if you've seen that. I know a lot of people out there have. Yeah. But that kind of shit is what I'm referencing.
So influencers have lost influence. So yes, I'm not as powerful as I was. That's true. Not just because of the Matrix attack, but because of the nature of the internet as a whole has changed. And it's going to continue that way. I would argue in 10 years, influencers will be nobodies. All these people who think, I want to be a streamer. Streaming is going to be gone in a few years. Being an influencer is going to be gone in a few years.
For what main reason?
Well, I remember when having an Instagram with a blue tick and a few pictures around the world. It was like a big fucking deal. Bro.
That could get you far.
You got money. You got all this shit.
You got anything everything. You wanted. Yeah.
Now nobody gives a fuck. You can have 10 million followers on Instagram and a blue tick. Who gives a fuck? Nobody. Fuck you.
Agreed.
The world is just too mean now. Nobody cares about each other. And famous people's masks have slipped off also with so many things that have happened. Nobody sees these people as idols in any way. I'm probably one of the last people on the planet who young men come up to and say, you saved my life. And that's why I'm saying I'm still as big as I was. Influencers as a whole have lost influence. However, whenever I walk down the street, in fact, we can film it. If you and I want to walk through a casino in Vegas right now, watch people flood up to me. Thank you, Tate. We love you. And all the comments on the internet say I'm a sellout, whatever.
Okay, wait, you said us walking together. You don't think I'm going to get any thank yous?
Zero. But it doesn't, it doesn't matter what the internet says because everyone still adores me, but influencers have lost influence. That's the case.
That's 100% true.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're going to ask a question, but that's very important to understand.
No, you're 100% right, but I want to know now with your trajectory of being at that point to where you've come now, dealing with a lot of. Is there a regret or a major factor that you would have changed to avoid all this dealing with?
Nah,
nothing at all.
No, life is about trials and tribulations. Life is about struggle. There's no light without dark. The jail story is a cool story. The last 4 years have been hell and I suffered to go through them, but on my deathbed, they're going to be some of my favorite stories to tell. I still managed to keep my life together. My mind is stronger than it's ever been. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars the entire way through. I now know how to protect myself against the system even better. I'm galvanized. I'm harder to hurt, harder to attack. I made very important and powerful friends once the power structures of the world understood what was happening to me was unfair, especially in the right wing and Republican circles. So I'm very happy that it happened because I operate from a frame that I'm happy everything happened. Well, if I spill this coffee, I'll be happy it happened. I'm happy for all the things that are...
I'll be fucking pissed because I know you're not going to pay me for that fee.
Correct. Yeah. That's exactly right.
So I'll be a little upset.
Well, you may be, but I'll be very, very glad.
Yes.
And, you know, if I was 1% less a nice person, I would pour it on the floor right now. But I'm not going to do that because...
Okay,
no, I'm not going to because I'm nice. But in general, I don't think you should operate from that frame of regretting things. I don't regret anything. And also, I understand why they did it to me. I think that they had to try and do something to damage my influence. I think it actually made me bigger. But now influencers have lost influence.
Yeah.
And thankfully, unlike all these other clowns who have to try and get streams on a view by getting views on a stream by being idiots, I make real money in the real world. So it doesn't matter to me. I can delete the internet tomorrow. My life is fantastic.
This is something I think is super important. You have such a negative... A lot of people have a negative outlook maybe right now. Back then, I know so many people that would reach out to me, hit me up. What was Tate like? going through a breakup, go watch some Tate videos, that preaching that masculinity, being that alpha male and having confidence. I feel like I don't see that being preached as much anymore.
By me?
Yeah. And I think that that's slowed down on the internet as a whole. And I'm wondering why that is.
Well, I don't know. I still talk a lot heavily about motivation, staying dedicated, being your best self, the best way to view the world, the best mental model to have to be as competitive as possible, how the world works. I talk about all these things. I have stopped slamming on women, which was very entertaining. I've stopped doing that because now it's just like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
When I was first pointing out that women, by and large, are just chasing money and are prostitutes.
Yeah.
You know, it was...
Which we're both victim of, right?
Well, you...
I know you've been finessed before.
No, I'm too smart to finesse.
No, you have been. You've bought a bag. You've bought a flight.
Of course I bought a girl a bag, but she has my kid.
Okay.
But I haven't been finessed.
You've never been finessed?
If a girl tries to finesse me, that's the easiest girl for me to finesse. It's called Aikido.
Okay, really
When
quick.
a girl comes to you and goes, oh, yeah, you know, I like you, and then, oh, my rent needs paying, I'll be like, yeah, of course a man pays a girl's rent. Of course, once we're serious, I'm definitely going to pay your rent.
Yeah.
And you just bang her a bunch of times and block her. Like, duh. The girls who try and finesse me get finessed.
Yeah.
You know, it's the masterful art of Aikido. But the point I was making out, like even Dan Bilzerian, who I'm a friend of, and I like him very much, and we've spoken privately because
he hates me and...
Well, he came out publicly negative of me, which is his prerogative. I don't take these things personal. You know, I like him as a guy and I like him as a person. So even if he says something bad about me, I'm not going to get personal about it. But his whole brand was based around being around lots of women, and it made him the most famous man in the world, and it was cool as fuck. And everyone watched him.
He was the first to do it.
Yeah, and it was fucking cool.
It was.
But do you know why it's not cool anymore?
Why?
Because every single fucking dork with a little bit of crypto money is surrounded by hoes. So it's just like, oh, it turns out girls are just prostitutes. So who gives a shit? It's not cool anymore.
You're right.
It's not like, it's cooler to be seen with no girls than to be seen with 10 girls now. So there's no point in me dunking on women because they've made it too easy and it's shooting fish in a barrel and everyone knows it's true.
Right.
So I do talk these motivational content. I do talk the same thing about mental models and being a man, all these things. I do talk about it. But influencers are losing influence. The internet is changing. In about 5 to 6 years, I don't think there's going to be any real world influencers left.
Well, how much influence do you think you have now?
Depends in which sphere.
Because I know...
It depends in which
But
sphere.
daily, you express how you're afraid that your life's going to be taken from you.
Daily I explain that I'm walking a fine line and my life could very easily be taken from me.
Okay.
Which is slightly different.
But you would only...
I don't think they've given the kill order. Mm-hmm. However, I could easily get them to give the kill order in this podcast.
And you've said before that you know who runs the Matrix.
I've said, yes, I have. I have information that tells me as to how this Matrix works, yes.
Should we let them know that it is me? Bro, I'm going to tell you something. The Matrix is not that bad to me. We're sitting in here, you're having a coffee, I'm having a drink, we're at the Aria. I got a girl in there, Tristan's in. The Matrix I'm having a good fucking time. Is the Matrix really that bad? Who is the Matrix most negative for?
What is the point of life?
I think the point of life is finding a purpose and chasing that purpose.
Okay, would you argue that one of the most fundamental purposes for humanity and mankind since the dawn of our record keeping has been the pursuit of truth? We've always been trying to work out the world around us, understand why certain things happen, understand the laws of the universe. This pursuit of truth has been something that all humans from all civilizations, whether it's the Chinese, the Aztecs, Muslims, Christians, whoever, have been involved in since as long as we've kept recorded history. The Greeks, the Romans, everyone. The birth of science and medical science and philosophy, it's been the pursuit of truth. So you're saying that, what's the problem with the Matrix? Well, it's the pursuit of truth and understanding how things really work. If I'm told that this world operates based on elections and legal systems, and that's not true, it runs based on transnational capital and algorithms, then the entire mental model in which I approach the world with is completely different. The way I see things is completely different. The interactions I see are completely different. I want to know the truth of the world. And I don't think that's so unusual.
I don't think it's unusual, but I think it's becoming harder and harder daily. You can't tell what's real and what's not.
Well, that's their goal now. Their goal is to just obfuscate with so much garbage.
But I'm even speaking of people that you've previously collabed with. Like some of these guys, I look at their things and I think, oh, that's kind of funny. They don't actually believe what they're preaching. But how am I supposed to know if they actually believe that or not?
Who?
Just, we'll say, Candace Owens, for instance.
I love Candace, and I think that she is closer to the truth than anyone could possibly understand.
You really think so?
100%.
Do you think that there's a point at this time where you can gain such a big audience? I like to compare it to like the Alex Jones model, who made a substantial amount of money, ended up getting a lawsuit, had to pay off millions of dollars for being inaccurate with his information, right? I think he kind of set that model of you can gain this very strong audience that will buy into these conspiracies, these things that you talk about. And a lot of people have followed suit and seen the amount of money you can make. So that's why I'm like...
Firstly, I don't think streaming makes money. I don't think, like I've said, all of this has changed. Within 5 years, no one's going to be streaming anymore.
Yeah.
It's all going to be AI. Once an AI version of me looks exactly like me and can say whatever it wants, what's going to be the point of me even attempting streaming? Streaming's done. Long-form content is done. Influence from influencers is done. The world is moving further and further towards exactly what the elites want, which is shadow groups, shadow cabals, transnational capital, algorithms, private equity, secret societies. These are the people who ruled the world before the internet. There was a period where they were being exposed, and now they're going to start ruling the world again as the internet falls apart. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's very unfair to put Candace or Alex Jones in this scenario.
And I'm just using them as examples of, in the way of gathering an audience and being able to monetize off of people believing everything you might say.
Okay. But
and not knowing the truth or what's not. And I'm not saying anything as they've both said things that I've agreed with and not agreed with, but I'm curious about that model specifically.
Yeah, but when you build a legal system, this is my exact point. It proves that the world's not based on law. The world's based on the things I said it was previously, because you have people who sit on the internet all day, every day, telling the truth all day, every day for years. For 10 years, they give you 3,000 theories and 2,999 are correct. And one may have perhaps been incorrect. And then they're called crazy for this one theory being incorrect, and they're completely destroyed in court and they lose their business because of one incorrect theory, even though they have a 99.9% success rate. What about the news? How many times has the news lied or been incorrect? How many times has mainstream media lied to you or been incorrect or changed the truth or omitted parts of the truth? Like, if we're going to start doing that, then every single news station on the planet should be shut down. So it's completely not fair. Candace is closer to the truth than anyone could possibly understand. And if she says one thing that perhaps may turn out later to not be true, that does not mean everything else she said wasn't true. It's completely stupid. This is a false logic, and it's applied deliberately by the Matrix to try and slander people as crazy. So you shouldn't listen to them. And this idea, conspiracy theorist. Yeah. Once again, this is a label, an accusation that is attached to people's names so you don't listen to their ideas.
Right.
I'm open for any idea. If someone were to sit in front of me, no matter who it is, if fucking Don Lemon sat in front of me and said, I have a theory that gravity isn't real.
Did you ever link with Don Lemon?
Fuck no, he's a loser. I'd say, tell me your theory. I mean, I'll listen to it. Like, what you got to say? And if I disagree, I'll prove the opposite. But when you have people out here who don't even want to listen to what anyone says because they believe they've been labeled as, or they've been labeled as a conspiracy theory, and they believe that makes it impossible for them to be correct on anything. This is all just a psyop.
Okay, so I agree with a lot of what you just said, but I want to focus on your main point about AI and something that you've always done, and you've always kind of been ahead of the curve in terms of the future of the internet. What is AI going to do for men in terms of relationships? Like, how come, right, you preach on being masculinity, being that alpha, but there's no preaching on going and finding a partner, going and being a good father, being a good husband?
What's the point?
Is that an important thing for Top G?
What's the point of masculinity if it's not for being a father and finding a partner? What's it for?
But why is that not talked about more, and why is that not preached to the youth more?
That's all I talk about.
Why are more people not following suit with that?
Well, I think that
because it doesn't sell.
Well, I don't know about sale, but if I'm telling men how to be a man, I'm specifically telling them how to be a good cog in the machine of society. I'm telling them how to be attractive to women and how to be a good friend to their other friends and how to feel happy and secure and safe within themselves. So that's what masculinity is in and of itself. And I talk about intersex dynamics nonstop. I talk about how women have changed, men have changed. The reason society is completely broken down is long, and we could talk about it, but society is completely broken down because men and women are moving in absolutely opposite directions. But I don't think men have failed on that level as much as women have. Yes, men are not as manly as they should be. But
I hear more.
But women are far worse from the feminine perspective than men are.
I hear far more than I've ever heard in my life from the majority of females. I hate men. I hate men.
Exactly. Because they've
And it's becoming so popular. I'm trying to figure out where's that coming from? Is it coming from Top G? Is it coming from influencers? Like, why is that now the new narrative?
So women are saying that they hate men.
Yes.
We're told in this world that the world runs on elections, democracy, and the rule of law, and judges and courts. And that's the basic system under which our world works. When the truth is, our world works based on culture. It works based on selective outrage. And these things are fostered by transnational capital, large pools of money that span across country borders that have no interest other than making more money, and also algorithms. Women have been psyoped and they've been tricked. And there's a whole bunch of money that's gone into making women hate men, and a whole bunch of algorithmic manipulation, which has gone into making women hate men. And that's why women successfully hate men. That didn't involve an election.
What goal?
Well, the goal is to prevent the birth rate because they don't want anyone to have children. Because they're trying to depopulate the earth because AI is coming. And once AI is here, a lot of people are going to become useless, and useless people become a problem. That's what's going to happen. The truth of the world is algorithms and transnational capital. That's how the world actually functions.
Okay, so being Neo, who is AI the biggest threat to, in your opinion? The guy working the 9 to 5, the average guy, like, who do you think AI is the biggest threat to in the population?
Well, I don't think that it's about losing your job to AI. It's about your wife being psyoped by the algorithm and AI to hate you because she believes she deserves more than you can possibly ever give. It's about your children being psyoped by the AI and the algorithm to not obey you. It's about everyone around you beginning to betray you because the AI is convinced them they should do so. AI is not about just taking people's jobs. It's about controlling and shaping how people think in real time. And that's what's happening.
You want to know the scariest thing ever?
Sure.
I was at my girl's place, and I'm in a room, and she's having a conversation. And I think there's another girl out there, and she's asking ChatGPT for relationship advice. And I walk out there thinking there's two people out there, and she's talking to her fucking phone.
Yeah, it's over.
And I'm like, I can't compete against a computer.
Well, that computer can make her believe you're the best boyfriend in the world or the worst boyfriend in the world.
But I think the latter.
So who's in charge of your relationship? It's no longer you. It's no longer her. It's an AI algorithm, which has been written by some guy far away, and he decides if you have makeup sex and have the best night of your life, or break up then and there forever, or if she falsely accuses you of rape in front of the police and destroys your life and takes all your money. Whatever she decides to do is now being controlled by an AI algorithm somewhere else. And these AI algorithms are how they are controlling the planet. That is the situation we're currently in. It's all cultural. The reason America and the reason women are so particularly heinous and atrocious in this country, they're such in America compared to most other places. They're so aggressive. They're so fully liberal. They're so negative. They go to the police and lie. They accuse you of rape. They steal your money in divorce court. Why are they so terrible here? Well, it's cultural. Well, there's cultural, and the culture is pushed by the machines.
How big of an idiot is a guy that doesn't get a prenup?
How big of an idiot is a guy who gets married?
Oh, my girl is over there, my boy.
Yeah,
she's waiting on that.
Well, I'm sorry, but
so are you suggesting that marriage is out of the picture?
What do you gain?
Shit.
Non-emotional. Like, there's men who get married and they go, it's important because I love her. If you want to make emotional decisions, if you want to enter the world of emotional decisions with women, if you want to roll in the mud with a pig and lose, then that's fine. Yeah. But as a man, it's your job to be logical. And I'm sitting here saying, I'm not anti-marriage. Just show me what I get. Yeah. You're asking me to agree to give away half my stuff if I argue with anyone at any point in the future forever.
Right.
You agree, I'm sitting here, I'm going to pay a whole bunch of money so her uncle can eat a lobster dinner. And I'm going to be publicly humiliated all over the internet when her ex-boyfriend who fucked her silly laughs that I'm walking her down the aisle in her white dress. Okay, cool. Shit. So what do I get? And the answer is, well, you get a wife. I already have a wife. I already have her.
You get a couple of years of happiness, a risk of divorce, risk of losing your money, and maybe some kids.
Yeah, well, I got kids anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't see what I get, and I'm not making bad decisions. I'm not stupid. I'm just a logical person. If someone can change the marriage contract to give me what people used to get when they got married not too long ago, which is an obedient virgin, then I'll get married. Yeah. That's what marriage was. You get an obedient virgin who will take care of the house and birth your children, and you take care of her. But now the marriage contract is you get a disobedient, used up female with a big mouth, and you have to take care of her worse than ever because a normal income and a normal life is not what she wants. She wants Ferraris and Birkin bags. So you're paying more and getting less. And I just don't see why I should subscribe to that. I don't have to. Most men do it because they have to get children. I'm top G. I don't have to do that. I can just look at a woman, click my fingers, and she agrees to have my baby. So why do I have to do that?
So I agree with what you're saying, but are we, the males, guys like us, top Gs, are we setting the precedent too high? Because aren't the men to blame for the ones that are going and buying bags, flexing the Ferraris?
Well, Steiny, you're just out there fucking flexing, sending all this money to all these girls. I know you got all these women.
Yeah, I know, but they, like you said, they don't want to be with a, let's be real. Does a girl want to be with a guy that makes 60 grand a year?
No, they don't.
They don't.
That's right.
So the standard's becoming higher and higher. So who's to blame for that?
Well, that's women's decision. Women have the choice to be with a guy who makes 60 grand a year if they want.
You know how many women say, hey, I'd be with a guy if he was a good guy and he makes 100 grand a year and, you know, he took care of me and he was loyal to me. That's all fucking.
Of course it's a lie. Women say openly that men with money don't deserve women. So what they're really saying is that men with money deserve all the women. And that's the world we live in.
And you have, and this happened time ago, but this is a personal question that I have for you. You have all this money. We know you've made tons of money. You went and you did that boxing fight. And a lot of people, the narrative is that you needed money to fight.
No, that's not what happened.
With the really no upside, I guess.
No upside.
Of fighting.
Correct.
What was the point of doing that?
Because I've been in jail for a long time and I've been locked in my house for a long time and I felt like a lot of my years had been stolen from me and I was sad about it and I wanted to prove to myself I'm still young. And I came back after 6 or 7 years retirement, and being active at 39 or being active until 39 is very different than coming out of retirement at 39. I had a weird adrenaline dump on the day. I don't know why. I was in fantastic shape. I trained very well. I could spar 500 rounds, no problem. I don't know why it happened, but it did happen. So I had to, lose the fight and take it like a man. What else can you do? But there was no upside. If I beat him, everyone would be talking shit. If you lose, people talk shit, but I'm not interested in what people say. I had to try to know for myself. I'm not the kind of person who lives with what ifs. I'm not that kind of guy. So there was no nefarious intention. There was no big scheme, no big plan. The money went into my bank and I haven't even noticed. The number looks the same. If it's 141 million or 131 million, like, it fucking looks the same. Who gives a shit? It looks the same.
Are you still tapped in? Do you still watch like a lot of the influencers and creators? Like, have you seen like Kai Cenat, who was the biggest streamer, went through the stuff with his girl, and now he's going a completely different route with fashion and shit? Like, do you pay attention to that?
I am so disconnected from the idea of modern culture. I don't know who the actors are. I don't know who the singers are. I don't know who the streamers are. I recognize a couple of them. I don't watch it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm not an influencer. I'm a businessman with influence. I have many companies. I have lots of things to do. I make a lot of money outside of the internet. I can turn all of this off at any time. I'm very, very concerned with real things in the real world. So I saw something about a diary on Twitter. I mean, I scroll past these things, but I don't know what's going on.
So apparently he just went through a breakup. His girl, he put her on camera, and she was allegedly cheating on him, and now he's going through this mental phase. Was the biggest streamer in the world, now he's dedicated it to fashion. It's just a whole thing, and I was just seeing if you had any opinion on that, being someone who's like yourself at the peak of the internet, peak of fame, everyone's watching you. How hard is it to keep your mental control and stay afloat when you have everything you want, knowing that it could be taken from you tomorrow?
Well, I mean...
All right, guys, now that the holidays are over, I know you probably feel like you're in a spending hangover. You spent a ton of money on drinks, gifts. Well, I'm happy to tell you about Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is here to help cut back on overspending on wireless this January with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Mint Mobile, I'm telling you, it's 10 times better than my previous carrier. I've had Verizon, I've had Cricket, I've had AT&T, whatever the hell exists. Mint Mobile is the absolute best option, and they offer the best plans. Mint Mobile's end of the year sale is still going on, but only until the end of this month. Cut out big wireless bloated plans and unnecessary monthly charges with 50% off 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited plans. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk, text, and delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Makes it so much easier than having to go into the Apple store, do all that BS. This January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off on unlimited premium wireless plan starting at just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Steiny. That's mintmobile.com/Steiny. Go do it right now. I'm telling you, this will be the best provider you've ever used. Limited time offer, upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only. 50 gigabyte may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. Go check it out now.
I don't know Kai's story. I don't want to insult the guy.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to insult him. I don't know his story. But if you're going to let a woman have that much control over you, then you deserve the pain you're definitely going to feel. Even in the best times in your life, if you allow a woman to have that much influence over your emotions, you're going to end up suffering at some point because women are chaotic. You can't let your life be controlled by your wife. You can't let your existence and your brand and your mentality and your emotions and your humanity be controlled by some female. You can't externalize yourself like that as a man. I have women I love, but if they were to text me right now in the middle of this podcast and say it's over, I'd say, okay. And I'd move on and I wouldn't mention it ever again. Mm-hmm. And that's life. But he's obviously really caught up with this chick and she's wrecking him for it. And eventually he's going to wake up and know better. And next time he meets a woman, he's going to say, I'm the prize. I'm taking care of you. I've got my life in order. I'm going to elevate you and you're going to behave yourself. And if you don't, you're going to lose me. Like I can't lose a chick. She can only lose me, bro. I'm the top fucking G.
Yeah, you are. We're both top Gs. We know this. But my main point being.
You know what, Steiny? You're actually kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I think so.
No, you're kind of
funny. You've told me I'm funny before. What the fuck?
No, you're kind of. You used to be funny. Now, like influencers have lost influence. Now you're kind of funny.
Oh my god! All right, well, I'll take that. That's still a compliment. But what I really want to get at is the biggest thing you see with influencers these days is losing that mental and going fucking crazy when they get to the top. They get this fame. They have all the internet. Everyone's following them, and they go fucking crazy. And you stayed afloat somehow.
Of course.
For, I think over 10 years.
Of course, because I'm the top G.
But
I'm not a fucking influencer. I'm not an internet kid.
You were an influencer at one point.
No, but that's not who I am. I can do it, but my entire brand is based on all the things I've done off the internet. I'm not like fucking the people I was with when the Clubbercast happened and their whole life and everyone only knows them for things they've said on the internet. I've done real things in the real world. 99% of my money is made offline. My real connections are offline. All my shit's offline. I have children. I have families. I have towers built. I have real things happening offline. And then, yeah, I do have influence, but...
Who do you think has more bread, me or you?
More money?
Yeah.
I'm 1,000 times richer than you, bro.
Yeah? You want to go checking account for checking account?
Guaranteed I'm richer than you.
You want to go to inheritance for inheritance?
Who do you get inheritance from?
My father.
You call that your money?
At one point, it's going to be, baby. Come on now. Like you said, when after the chase to Morphi, I might not notice it, but it's going to hit the account. We know this. We know this. All right, so you're going on this tour. You're in the U.S. What's your goal now? You went through some... I want to reiterate. I've known Andrew and Tristan for so long, and they've been so good to me. They've been nice to all the Nelk boys. We've linked several times, and I've never seen you be disrespectful to any person that's come up to you in public. When we used to walk through the fucking... to the Fountain Blue, did we go to Power Slap?
Yeah.
We went to Power Slap, and there's so many fans there. You guys treated everyone with respect. So when I did see that clip, I was like, I know these guys. They're better than that. But
I rolled in the mug with the pigs. It was a mistake.
So that was a mistake.
I mean, hanging around with is always a mistake.
That's
why I only hang around with top G's like you, Steiny.
Yes, exactly. My God, thank you. My only thing being on that, when you see some of these guys double down on that, are you noticing they're making a mistake and they should just say,
I don't give a shit, but they have nothing to lose. They're in a different position than me. But, they're kids who are obsessed with clicks and obsessed with internet validation. If they want to double down or whatever, it's their decision. It's up to them. They're in charge of their own lives. They have their own life path. I truthfully hope for all of them, even the started that mess, I really hope they all end up happy.
Yeah.
I hope everything works out for them. I'm not a hateful person. I'm not a resentful person. I just know how my life's going to go. And unless people learn a little bit about how the world works, I know how their lives are going to go. And they have to learn the hard way.
One message that you gave I'll never forget this, when we were in Croatia, Yacht Week. What was that? Carpe Diem. We went there in the day club.
Yeah.
And one thing you told me, and you said the best thing in life and the happiest you're going to be is when you're spending important moments with your boys,
100%.
with your friends.
That's all life is.
And that has stuck with me, and I have 2 or 3 very close friends of mine, and I don't think these new guys coming up understand the importance of having people outside of this internet shit that keep you grounded and keep you happy in life.
Well, yeah, because they're disconnected from other people because their entire life is the internet.
Yeah.
All they care about is the internet. They'll sell out anyone for clicks.
Yeah.
All they care about is how they're perceived online. All they care about is comments. Everything they do is for the internet. If they see an amazing thing happening, they have to record it for the internet. Nothing is for them. So, I'm fortunate to be from the generation that was before the internet. We have the internet, but it was always based on, personal relationships and personal experiences and sharing them and trusting each other and loyalty. That was the most beautiful thing about life.
Can you tell right away, meeting somebody, if they're genuine or not, if they're an internet character?
I think by and large, yes. By and large, yes.
And do you look at any creators now and think, this guy's going to be a superstar outside of me?
Well, outside of you, Steiny, it's hard because you shine so bright.
My boy. Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's hard to see the stars in the daytime because the sun is so bright.
It's always shining.
And it's just like, it blinds you.
The UV's always a fucking 12 when you're with me, bro.
It blinds you and it's difficult,
Yeah.
But I think anybody who isn't already super mega legacy famous like me, is going to suffer in the next 3 or 4 years because I think that I really do believe influencing as a whole is over. Yeah. I really believe it's over. I think influencing and streaming and all these things that people expect to be around forever is soon going to just totally disappear. People are already bored of streaming. Nobody sits and watches these long streams. They wait for a couple clips of controversy, which is why the people who do the streams do controversial things so they don't even get views on the clips. And it's all just falling apart now. Nobody has time for this crap anymore. Everyone has bills to pay. The economy is fucked. Everyone's going broke. Jobs don't pay. Mainstream education doesn't work. Everything is collapsing in real time. Even the meme coin gambling, which existed last year, which gave so many people hope of escaping the matrix, is now completely gone. Everyone's poor. The price of everything's going up. The taxes are going up. More third world invaders are coming into your country to stab you to death. Yeah. You haven't got time to sit there and watch 7 hours of around in a nightclub. No one has time for this.
Yeah.
They have to find a way out. They have to find a way to escape. They have to find a way to get some money. They have to find a way to make some connections. So I think that the world is just moving to a place where streaming and influencing as a whole is dead. So for the next few years, you're going to continue to conquer the sky with your bright ultraviolet rays. And then eventually it's just going to be forever darkness.
My last thing I'm going to ask you, I know you have other things to do. If a person, because every kid now wants to be a streamer, wants to be a fucking YouTuber, whatever. Should they enter the matrix and take that 9 to 5 to get started and figure it out later?
There is so much money you can still make, and the door is constantly closing. Every single day that goes by, it gets harder and harder to earn money. But I believe there's still about 2 years left where huge sums of money can be made before the door is fully closed. There will be a time within my lifetime where the rich people are getting richer and richer and richer. This is already happening. And the poor people will continue to get poorer. And there's going to be no chance to jump the gap. It's going to be impossible to socially mobilize from a poor person into a rich person. Right now, the easiest way to make money in the world is arbitrage between the knowledge that young people have and the skills that young people have. And the old people who have all the money, the boomers who have all the assets, they don't know how to do certain things that young people can do very easily. I teach all of this inside of my school, university.com. We teach people how to make money online. Anybody can sign up. They can go there. They can learn one of 18 money-making methods, and you can earn money from home the same day you sign up.
Have you had people make money?
What do you mean? If I had people, you can go to the website and check. We have 10,000 people sitting there giving video testimonials proving that they've made hundreds of thousands of dollars. My school is probably one of the only places that exist on the internet today where anybody, male, female, old, young, can sit and earn money online.
So should they go to Stanford University or Tate University?
Absolutely, my university.
Really?
Well, of course, because Stanford, you're going to pay $500,000. You're going to be in debt. It's going to take 4 years of your life, which is even more important than the money because the world moves so fast. 4 years is effectively 30 years. You're going to read a bunch of textbooks from 1997. You're going to talk to a professor about how to make money, even though the professor himself has no money.
Yeah.
Or you can join my school for $99 and you're going to learn how to make money from people who do have money and you're going to get paid the same day you join. Okay. So it's very, very simple. I think the reason we're so successful and have so many students, the reason we're the largest online school in the world is because it's the only place a young person can go and earn money today. There really is no other chance. Meme coins are done. Bitcoin, you have to have too much money to begin with. Stock market, you need to have money to begin with. To start a business, you need to have money to begin with. If you're starting from zero outside my school, it's nearly impossible to earn money in the world today. So we're perfectly positioned. Anybody who is prepared to dedicate themselves, dedicate some time, work hard, we're going to teach you how to escape the matrix. But if you don't want to listen to me or you don't want to join my program, I really have no idea how a young person can make it in the world today because education is a scam. Jobs are a scam. They're never going to pay you as much as the average basic 6 wants you to have to get anywhere near her.
You're never going to get rich getting paid a salary.
Of course, apprenticeships are a scam. Streaming's going to be dead soon. YouTube channels are going to be dead soon. Everything is collapsing in real time. Everyone thought AI would come for the factory workers, but what AI is really coming for is the influencers and a lot of these online people.
I agree.
And it's all going to collapse in the next 4 to 5 years. So you have this time to use the internet to make money. We'll teach you how to do that. And then after that, you're going to be in one of two camps. You're either going to be on the have yachts or have nots.
All right. Well, there you have it. Me and Andrew, we have Shabbat dinner right now, so we do have to exit.
Bro,
Top G, thank you so much for coming by. For the future, when you go to a club in Miami, everyone there spending money is probably Jewish. So let's not.
The chance of me ever going to a club.
I couldn't believe I saw you there. I know a day club's different. When we went in Croatia, we can agree.
A day club,
day club's different.
I can go to a day club, have shisha, sit, talk with my friends, eat some lunch.
Very different.
But that 2 a.m. fucking ratchet might get shot outside Miami shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm never going to a club anywhere on earth ever a fucking again. So I doubt I'm banned, but if I am, I'm not going to notice. Fuck that. Never. All
right. Well, there we have it. Top G. Good to see you again.
Good man, bro.
Thank you, bro. It's good to see you. All right. Thank you.